Understanding landmark property law cases in India is crucial for grasping key legal principles and judgments. These cases shape legal practice and property rights, offering insights into the evolution of property law. This presentation will explore pivotal cases, starting with the distinction between lease and license, as established in the K.K. Verma case. K.K. Verma, Veers Union of India, 1954, clarified the distinction between a lease and a license. The court ruled that exclusive possession for consideration constitutes a lease, even if termed a license. This case is pivotal for understanding Sections 105, 107 of the Transfer of Property Act, setting essential criteria for property agreements. Delhi Development Authority versus Durga Chand Kaushish, 1973, emphasized the principle of substance over form in lease versus license disputes. The court focused on the actual terms and intentions, not just the nomenclature, reaffirming that mere words cannot convert a lease into a license. This case further solidified the criteria established in K.K. Verma versus Union of India. Ram Takat Mal v. Laxmibai, 1972, addressed the doctrine of part performance under Section 53A, Transfer of Property Act. The court upheld the buyer's rights despite lacking a registered sale deed, reinforcing equitable protection for buyers. This case emphasized that possession and part performance can safeguard buyer interests, even without formal registration. Mohammed Musa versus Agore Kumar Ganguly, 1914, clarified the doctrine of lease pendens under Section 52, Transfer of Property Act. It established that property transfers during litigation are not void, but are subject to the litigation's outcome. Buyers acquiring property during ongoing litigation assume the risk, emphasizing the importance of due diligence in property transactions. State of Haryana versus Mukesh Kumar, 2011, marked a pivotal shift in adverse possession law. The court criticized the state's misuse of adverse possession, emphasizing the protection of citizens' property rights. This case redefined the approach, ensuring adverse possession is not unjustly used, particularly by the state, reinforcing property rights against governmental overreach. R.K. Kedarpal versus State of Haryana, 1981, examined the legality of transferring property to unborn persons under Section 13 of the Transfer of Property Act. The court ruled such transfers void without a prior life interest, highlighting the importance of vested interests in unborn persons. This case is pivotal for understanding property rights concerning future generations. Nahal Chand, Lallu Chand, Private Limited, v. Panchali, Cooperative Housing Society, 2010, clarified ownership versus tenancy in housing societies. Builders cannot sell parking spaces separately as they are part of common areas. This case reinforced buyers' rights, ensuring that common property remains accessible to all members of cooperative housing societies, thus protecting consumer interests in real estate transactions. Maharani Shantadevi v. Savitri Devi, 1997, examined conditional transfers under Section 25 of the Transfer of Property Act. The court ruled that transfers with uncertain or impossible conditions are void. This case clarified the distinction between valid and invalid conditions, significantly impacting the interpretation of property transfer conditions in India. Rosher v. Rosher, 1884, examined the legality of absolute restraints on property alienation under Section 10, Transfer of Property Act. The court ruled such restraints void, influencing Indian courts to interpret Section 10 similarly. This case underscores that property gifts cannot impose absolute transfer restrictions, ensuring freedom in property transactions. McDowell and Cumberland Liddell v. Chief Tax Officer, 1985, highlighted the principle of substance over form in asset transfers. The court dismissed colorable devices aimed at tax evasion, emphasizing genuine intent over deceptive structuring. This case is pivotal in property and tax law, frequently cited to identify and invalidate sham transactions. These landmark cases have profoundly influenced property law in India, shaping legal interpretations and property rights. They provide essential insights for law students and professionals, highlighting the evolution of legal principles and their practical implications in property disputes.